As I'm running over to the school, I'm calling the school. No one's answering. So I call one of her friends. I'm like, hey, what's going on? As their exact words was, the girl walked up to her and her in the mouth.
What will you do as a mother? What will you do as a parent if you find out that your child has been bullied or your child is being threatened in school, and even the child that is bullying your child, the parent is in on the bully? What will you do? Hey guys, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is a video of a mother who came online to talk about her daughter and how her daughter has been bullied. So what happened is that the daughter called the mom on this fateful day while she was in school, and she was like crying, and she could not even make out words to let the mom know what is really going on. And the mom just went straight to school and called her friend, and they told her what happened, that another child in the school punched her daughter in the face. And after everything, the mom was like, what will make another child be putting their hands on my child? I want to see the child's parents so that we can talk this out. And the other child was still very, very aggressive, cursing, saying that, I'm going to help you up, and like just coming out for her daughter. And she didn't understand where this whole energy, those animosity and confrontation was coming from. And she felt that the best way to resolve this was to talk to the other child's parents. And when she reached out to the school, that, let me talk to this child's parents, probably we can get to a resolution and sort things out. The school called her back to say that they don't think that's a good idea, that she shouldn't see the parents of the other child bullying her child. But she didn't know what to do after that, and she's asking for people's opinion on how to handle this. But even went deeper, because she came back to give us an update, and she was crying. Guys, I need you guys to see this, because I feel like conversation like this is very important, because whether we want to ignore certain things, our children, our nieces, our nephew might be bullied in school, and how do we handle the situation? Because I already posted a video of a young child that himself, just because of he was bullied in school. So let's just check out the sister's story, and then we'll come back and talk more.
This is not my normal content, and I hate that I even have to bring this to my platform. But at this point, I'm just seeking advice because I don't know what else to do. So before we went on this spring break that the kids had in New York City, the very last day of school, I get a phone call from my daughter. She's like frantically screaming to the top of her lungs, so much so that I couldn't even understand what was going on. Her school is about 3 blocks away, so I immediately get up, I put on my stuff, and I'm like running over to the school. As I'm running over to the school, I'm calling the school. No one's answering. So I call one of her friends. I'm like, hey, what's going on? As their exact words was, the girl walked up to her and her in the mouth.
What?
So now I've reached the school. By the time I reach the school, I'm guessing that the girl that's outside with school safety, that's going ballistic, is the girl she had a fight with. And the girl is yelling like, I want to get mine, we going blah, 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 all this stuff. I go into school. The school personnel has my daughter in the bathroom. My daughter's frantically crying, frantically screaming. They give me her, and I go outside to call the police. I'm waiting around for some time. Of course, the police didn't come yet. And school personnel came out, and they said, listen, just for your safety, I think that you should leave. Like, you guys should go home. We got word that the student is on their way back to the school with their family, so we think it's safe if you guys just leave. So we go home. Once I get home, the school calls me. And the school is like, listen, I don't know what happened. We're hearing bits and pieces of the story. But, it's the last day of school, and we just don't know what's going on. I said, okay, can I get a meeting with the parent? Because we have to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
Like, what happened? What would make this child just walk up to my kid and just, like, why would you her? I don't understand what happened. So school says, okay, you want a meeting with the parent? I'm going to call you right back. School calls me back. I don't know what transpired on that phone call, but they said exactly the words that they told me was, I don't know if you really want a meeting with this family, but if you do really want the meeting, we're going to have the authorities there.
What?
I said, huh? For a meeting? And they're like, yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have the police there. I said, okay, that's fine. I guess we'll have to have the police there, but a meeting has to be held. Okay, end of that story. We go on vacation. During the course of the vacation that me and my kids was on, you know, they have peers. So my daughter's peers was sending her like screenshots of things that this child is posting on social media, and this child started a countdown to the first day back to school from vacation, and she's like sending all these like, you know, I'm gonna get you and all this stuff. So the peers is like, listen, for your safety, I'm just giving you a little heads up, she gonna do you in when y'all get back to school. Like, you should be in fear for your life. If I was you, I wouldn't go back. So naturally, of course, my daughter is afraid for her life. She doesn't want to go back to school, as I wouldn't either. So another parent reached out to me in the midst of like all the chaos, because they saw everything that was going on outside of the school, and they wanted to inform me like, hey, the same girl who did that to your daughter, I went through a similar situation with her, and the family did end up coming up, and it ended really, really bad. She's like, my child went through so much bullying because of this child that at one point that child wanted to themselves. That's how bad the bullying got.
What?
So I'm like, this is ridiculous. All of this because of one child. So the school reached out to me yesterday, and they was just like, hey, we're gonna have a meeting, you know, with the two children, because I really don't think it's safe to get the families involved. Still don't know why, but they're like, I'm the most non-confrontational person in the world. Y'all know that. So they're like, we don't think it's safe. So we're going to try to have a meeting with these children. So I'm telling them like, hey, these are the threats that's been sent over the vacation. I don't know if this child is going to have a weapon on them. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And my daughter's scared shitless. You think I'm just going to throw it to y'all and say, hey, hopefully nothing happens? Because at the end of the day, her safety is my number one concern. So if it was you in this situation, would you like just pull your kid out of the school? I don't even know if you can get transferred to another school, like at the very end of the school. I have no clue how that works. But what would you do in this situation? I wanted to come and give you guys an update regarding my last post. Today has been a day. Like, I am just so overwhelmed with emotions. So I did go up to my daughter's school, and I did contact the district. The district was there, and this is how that conversation went. Her safety, again, is my main concern. So I'm going to go in front of the school as of now. I'm going to call the police and have the authorities come inside to make this report, because at the end of the day, Big Bad Bully is in school. What's happening with my baby? She can't get her education. Is it going to be a homeschool thing? Is she going to get excused absences? She's in fear of her life. What happens as of now?
She say she's in the building.
Well, she's in the building. Yeah, her attendance is going to be taken. And as far as a homeschooling, that's your choice. You can definitely decide if that's the route that you want to go. Also, there is like a safety transfer. If you choose to go that route, you can go that route. They'll do an investigation, and they will determine whether or not they believe that there is a safety concern. Kids get into things all the time. Not really sure what the precinct will do. We've had situations like this in the past. They're not going to arrest a child.
I did ask if I could have a meeting with the parent, because I thought maybe if, you know, teenager stuff, maybe it was just a misunderstanding. And if we could come together as parents and talk to our children and, you know, let them up, maybe apologize, or, you know, lead by example. And the school did inform me that they didn't think that was the best route to go, as I mentioned in my last video. And it was like, you know what, you requested it, so let's try it. This is how that ended up. So the mom did end up coming up to the school. It ended up in me needing a police escort. She knew my address. She said she said she was going to get me. Like, they had to lock her outside of the school, and they locked me in the school, and they told me it just wasn't best if I leave. I am like overwhelmed with emotions, because I genuinely don't deal with stuff like this. Like, to y'all, it may be different, because y'all probably like, oh, you some little punk, and I would have fought, or I would have did this. That's not who I am as a person. Like, in my whole 33 years of living, I've never even got into a fight. I don't get into confrontations. Like, I'm just not that person. Like, that's not who I am as a person. So it's like, to have somebody blurt out your address and to you, and for you to see like the type of people they are, and like the school is like, well, we told you they have a big family and they come up here and they want to fight. I feel like a shitty mom because it's like, I really got to get out of here. Like, this is the people that I'm amongst. I don't want my child to, like, I don't want any of my children to be raised in this type of environment. Like, I just feel like a horrible ass mom that my child have to experience it, because in that moment as an adult, having somebody like she's on the school doors, like wanting to me as an adult, like my heart is beating because it's like, I'm not, why would I want somebody to like, it's insane. I don't want my kids to experience this, and it sucks that this is the community that I live in. Like, and it's nobody's fault but mine, because it's like, you have your kids living in this type of community. Like, that speaks a lot about me as a parent, but it's hard. Like, everybody make it seem simple, like, oh, get up and move. It sounds easy, but it ain't. Like, you need money to do that. Like, and you need a certain amount of money. You just can't just get up and just go. I know it sounds easy, but I promise you it's not. Anyway, I'm a wreck. I just genuinely wanted to come on here and give you guys an update, because I know it's like crazy. After seeing my last post, the police was involved. I did get a police report. I do have to take it up to court to get an order of protection, but at the end of the day, it's still just a piece of paper, and it's much more than this situation. Just to see it, like, and then we in the school, and like the child was come downstairs and see my daughter and the mother yelling, and I'm like, what? I don't want my kids to be raised like this. Like, I'm not used to this type of stuff. It's just, I don't never want nobody to go through nothing like this. Like, this ain't right.
Let me know your thought about this story down in the comment section. What would you advise this mother to do? What would you have done if you were to be this mother? And what do you think can be done? Even with the authorities involved, yes, it seems like nothing much can be done. Even with the school authority involved, it seems like there's nothing much that can be done. But let me know what you think that can be done in this situation. This video got some moms talking, and they were dishing out advice and also sharing their story. And for me personally, I feel like it's really helpless and sad, especially when the school district was talking about how, the authorities has to investigate and see if it's a life and death situation till somebody is harmed before something can be done about this. For me, it just feels, why? And this really tells a lot about some parents and the type of human beings they are raising out there. Anyway, guys, I have so much to say about this, and I know you have a lot to say about this. So go down in the comment section, share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this. But let's go check out what all these other ladies have to say. But before we get into the video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go on and hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you get notified once I upload new videos. I post videos every single day, 2 videos every day, so you don't want to miss out in the conversation. So with that all said, guys, let's go check out people's response.
I get a phone call from my daughter. She's like frantically screaming.
Parents send their kids to school hoping that they can be safe and that they're going to learn. The content creator that I stitched this with is fearing for her daughter's safety. If you haven't had a chance, go back and watch her last 2 videos. She's describing an incident that happened with her daughter over the last, I would say, 2 weeks. How there was a physical altercation. Her daughter called. She lives close to the school. The mom ran to the school to find out what was going on. She sees one kid outside screaming, like, I'm going to mess this person up. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And then when she runs in the building, she finds her daughter with someone from the school, like just frantic and getting cleaned up because her daughter unfortunately got hit in the face multiple times. Now she's trying to figure out, what's going on. Why did this happen? She doesn't know her child to have fights and things like that. And at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, but at one point, someone from the school says, okay, you need to leave because that other kid's family is going to come up here. Someone else mentioned to her that that family's known to fight. So apparently there was like a past with this kid and their family, and they roll up and fight. I've experienced this. I taught for 10 years in New York, and yeah, families gonna come up and they're gonna spin the block. I taught in Brownsville for 6 years. I've had families come and spin the block. They pull up, they're circling the block 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning after school. I'm going to be real. There was one incident. I don't know what year I was teaching, but I remember leaving work and I'm like, why are these cops here? Apparently one of my students got into a fight and that mom jumped in, another mom jumped in. Everybody got arrested. Everybody got arrested. Like, why are you fighting on the ground with your kid? And it was pretty heartbreaking because one of my students showed me the video and I saw my student like just on the ground with a police officer over her, detaining her. And this kid, I mean, they were like 13 years old. I ended up messaging the content creator, the mom, because I was like, I felt really bad because I've seen this happen over and over. Kids fight, but then some just get really extreme, especially this case because the family's being involved. Also, she said her daughter, they were on spring break last week, but, kids, social media, especially Snapchat, the other student is sending messages like, I'm going to basically this person. Now, I was trying to give this mom advice. I don't know. I messaged her. I kept replying saying, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First things first, what parents I don't know if you know this, but in New York City, all the schools have a community liaison with the NYPD. So whatever neighborhood your school is in, find your local precinct, and there's someone who works there who basically is the liaison between the police and the school. So they're the ones who work with the principals and the deans. They're the ones who are first called if there's like or major incidents on school grounds, right? You always kind of want to go to them and speak to them first, right? Especially if there's like aggressive behavior like this one, where there's parents involved and social media is happening. You have the right to do that. I want to circle back to social media. If you signed the family handbook or student code of conduct, read it carefully because most schools nowadays have a clause about social media. They do. At least I know at least 2 of the schools I've worked at, and that you can't, post pictures of other kids or screenshot that and you send it right into the dean. At least at the school I used to work at, we would send, parents would send me screenshots all the time and I would just go back and turn it into the dean. But me as a teacher, I always followed up with everything. Speaking of teachers, parents, your child's teachers are your best friends, especially in the older grades like middle school and high school. All those kids have academic advisors or homeroom teachers, especially in New York. They are your best friends. They are the front line. Those teachers get all the tea. Sometimes you can't be dealing with the principals and the deans. They're overwhelmed. They got so many things going on. But if you buddy with your kid's teacher, hey, Miss So-and-so, look out for Asia at lunch. What is she doing? What is she eating? Can you make sure she knows that I'm on the way? Those teachers are with the kids pretty much all day long. Also, teachers have all the tea. A lot of kids don't snitch. They're not going to go to the dean. They're not going to go to the principal, assistant principal, but they will tell their favorite gym teacher, their favorite math teacher, all the gossip. And I was also wondering, I'm like, yo, there is video of that incident. Kids take videos of everything. So the mom was like, I want to know how it started. I'm like, the dean could just ask around and somebody was in the video. You know how many fight videos I received over the years? Unsolicited. Sometimes a kid would just be like, yo, text. Look what I got, Miss Flowers. Or I also was privy to like most of my school's secret Snapchat page because I'm a very friendly teacher. So I would see stuff on Snap. And if it was like stuff that was really crazy or egregious, I'm going back and I'm telling my boss. This has happened to me at least 3 times where there was something very inappropriate happening on social media. Kids showed me. I went back, snitched. That's my job. Like we're not friends first. I'm your teacher first. Mm-hmm. I think I'm trying to think of everything that I messages mom about. So I talked about the community liaison. I talked about social media. You can request an escort for your child throughout the day. So that means like they go to the bathroom with an escort. There's an adult in the building somewhere. They can just make sure they walk the hallways with this adult. I've done this as a dance teacher. They're like, hey, we have an escort schedule for so-and-so. There's an incident going on. And I'm like, all right, it's my turn to take so-and-so to the bathroom or to lunch. You can also do like early dismissal situation until everything is resolved. And I know this mom doesn't want to take her kid out of school because school's almost over. But I mean, if it's real bad, you can switch schools, especially if you feel like the school is not doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes they don't look at all the options. And sometimes some of these leaders don't even know all the options that are out. I'm a big fan of early dismissal because things pop off after school and before school. Yo, I know y'all seen some 7 a.m. fights, but I know for sure I had a few students who were basically left 10 minutes early before the whole school dismissed. At the end of the day, I feel like this is going to escalate, and this mom, her instinct is kicking in. She knows it's going to escalate. If you look at the second video, today, she tried to have a mediation with the family. It did not work out. The lady blurted out her address. Now she has to file a police report. This poor family, they don't want to go through this. They just want to talk and resolve. But some people can't be talked to. Some people, all they know is violence. And it's like upsetting because, you know, that other family, they're leading by example. Your child is acting up in school and you roll up there for a family meeting and you're also acting up. Stop it. I've been families, and you know what? I'm like, I gotta be professional. I'm like, okay, but you catch me outside after 3 o'clock. I'm like, what's up? Because I'm from the same neighborhood, y'all. So what's up? By dads, I've been threatened by one dad, and I reported it, and my principal did not follow up. So I was like, oh, you're not going to follow up with this? All right, bet. My husband's on notice, and my father is on notice, and my father's an OG from the neighborhood. So whatever happens to me outside this school, I already wrote a formal letter letting you guys know. And it's unfortunate that we have to go through this. Like, we can't control what other people do, but you can control like the follow-up and the mediation. So I said a few things here. I hope that will be helpful for you as a parent and how you can work with the school and your local precinct on how to just make sure your kids are safe. And I'm really sorry that we even have to have something like this or a conversation like this on TikTok, but it's the truth nowadays. It's true. All of this is true. I've seen it happen. I've seen my students be arrested. I've seen parents be arrested. Unfortunately, we had a student that was unfortunately passed away during a random, in our neighborhood, a random. And that was probably one of the worst days teaching of my entire life. But this is real. This is America. Wow. And if you have any other advice, drop it in the comments below.
I have a big family and they come up here and they want to fight. I feel like a shitty mom.
Honey, you don't know me at all. I've watched your videos about what's going on. And for all my little babies, just to let you know what she's talking about, she had to go to the school because her daughter was being bullied. She wanted a meeting with the parents to see if they could solve it and get the one teenager to stop bullying her daughter. But the parents of the other child is combative. They come from a big family, and they always want to fight. They literally, when they had the meeting with the other set of parents, they had to lock the other mama outside of school because she was threatening this woman and her child with bodily harm. First off, Miss Beautiful Woman that scrolled across my FYP, dry up all them damn tears. Every last one of them. Because I've seen more in just, I know the videos only give you just a 3-minute clip into somebody's life, but I can tell that you are a great mother. A great mother. And you're just wanting to protect your child, and you feel like the system has failed you, which it has. It has. And I'm so sorry from the bottom of my heart that you're being put into that position. But homeschool your baby if that's what you got to do. I know that brings other, problems and everything else, but your child's safety is what matters most. And like you said, in all your years, your 33 years of life, you've never been in a fight. Never. My husband is the same way. He's non-confrontational. He's 38. He's never been in a fight. Me, on the other hand, that's all I've ever been to jail for is assault. But I stood up for my family. I've never been in a fight because of myself. It's always been defending my mom or my sister because, they run their mouth. But I didn't let nobody was allowed to disrespect my mama. But me and you are two totally different types of people. You're like my husband. And every word that was coming out of your mouth, I just, that's what I think about my husband. He's non-confrontational. He always wants to be the peacemaker and, figure stuff out. He doesn't like to argue or anything like that. He's just non-confrontational, just like you. Darling, you've got to do what's the best for your child. And I know homeschooling is scary, but when COVID hit, I had to pull my kids out because I have heart problems and diabetes. And COVID, it scared me so bad. They amped it up so bad in the news. So I had to take both of my teenagers out of high school and start homeschooling. It's not as hard as you think it is. It's really not. You can get them online. Khan Academy, she can do online. Do what you got to do to keep your baby safe. But don't feel like a bad mama, because there's a lot of bad mothers out there. I know plenty. Everybody that I've went to school with, that I've been friends with all my life, and I'm 39 years old, none of them even has their kids anymore except for one. That's it. All the rest of them done lost their kids to drugs and God knows what else. But they don't even have their kids anymore. So I know plenty of bad parents. Honey, you're not. You're trying to figure the situation out as an adult and try to lead by example for your child and for other children. You're trying to set a good example. Don't feel like a failure when other people don't cooperate, especially other grown people refuse to cooperate and refuse to act like an adult. Don't let them put that fear in you. Don't let them make those tears roll down that beautiful face. Don't give them that power, darling. But you are an excellent mother. Just from the videos that I've seen, you are an excellent mother. And you're trying with all your heart to do what is right by your child. And that makes you a great mom, a great one. Pat yourself on the back, baby. I wish I was there to hug you and hold you and be the mean friend to, go up against the other family. Because, yeah, I would. But don't feel like a failure, baby. No, you've set a good example. And your child is going to see that. Love you, darling.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? What are your advice on this situation? But please keep it respectful. As always, here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a respectful way. So feel free to share your opinion, but please be respectful about it. So here's my own thoughts on this is that it's really crazy how these are teenagers, these are children acting up like this. But what's more concerning for me is the fact that the bully parents is involved, the mom is involved in it. But this just shows the fact that a lot of children, they are a product of who raised them. Like when you see a good human being is raised by a good human being. When you see somebody that has been tossing, it always starts from the home one way or the other. And the fact that this child is being a bully and the parents don't see anything wrong in this, rather they are even empowering and enabling this behavior of their daughter, even putting hands on anybody. Like, that's so scary, the fact that that child is being raised in that type of environment. And just imagine how that thing is just going to trickle down. The mom that brought this video up, I really, I know her fear, I understand her fear. For me, I'll be so scared. I don't think I'll even want my child in that school. In fact, immediately you put your hands on my child, I don't think I want my child in that school anymore. I'm out of it. But I get the American system is really different, where you can't really move school just anyhow, or the government or the district has to allocate school for your child based on your house address. It's not like that here in my country. My country, you can take your child and put your child in any school. In fact, most people actually go to more private school than the government-owned, the public-owned school, yeah. But that's really crazy that the teacher talking about how this is something that happens, students are doing this, 13 years old. How can a 13 years, I don't understand. What type of little humans are you people raising that you are raising them? They are so comfortable putting hands on somebody. I'm not saying that this happens everywhere, because it even happens here in my country, Nigeria. The other day, a child was being bullied and was being recorded by a student, and it was posted, and this student was being paraded and all that, and people were having this conversation of bullying children in school. But sometimes it goes that far that the child, sometimes your own child is so scared to even come to you and tell you what's going on, because especially when nothing is being done about it, like active nothing, not just talk. I don't believe in just talk, no. And the fact that these other bully child it's from a family of bullies, that all they believe is to put their hands on people. I would say the mom should find a way to, I know it's hard to move, a home, to get out of that place, but probably she can just homeschool the child, because it's rather been safe than sorry. That's my own advice. Just homeschool the child, let your child stay at home, and make sure you, which he has already done, report to the authorities. Keep very alert in your environment, because this family knows your house address. And just keep it at that. Because, and also if you can find a way to plan towards you living that neighborhood, because I feel like also the neighborhood a child is being raised kind of really affects how the child grows to become an adult and all that. So if you feel like the environment you're in is not it's not a healthy ground, it's not a healthy environment for your child to strive and be a better person, or be surrounded by toxic things like that, then start planning on how to. I get it. I know times are hard, I know money is hard, but start making plans on how to leave that neighborhood, because it's not going to get easier, it's not going to get better. But also, I'm not blaming this mom, I'm not talking about this mom, but this is what just brings me back to our motto here, like our gospel here on this channel, when we say as women we should be very intentional about how who we choose to have kids with, like very intentional, because the environment you raise your child is very, very important. So if you know you're not in a place where you can bring another human being, cater for another human being, mentally, financially, spiritually, even physically, in terms of the environment, then don't have children. Don't, because sometimes the environment is going to affect them just the way it's affected this bully that is bullying other children and causing harm to other children. So it's just more like a ripple effect. You guys know it's a gospel we preach here. Please, ladies, be very, very intentional about how you live your life. Make decisions that serve you. Make decisions that you are ready for, that you feel like this is what you want, not because society pressurize you or people around you pressurize you to do it. So that's the gospel. Like, my heart really goes out to this mom and her daughter and what they are going out to. But I can't even imagine. But also, that aside, I also want to say, mothers out there, watch the child you're raising and ask yourself, is that the type of child, is that the type of human beings you want to see in the world that we live today? Because why will your child be putting hands on another child? Why? Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section, share your thoughts. Please, I love to hear from you, but please keep it respectful as always. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl. Yeah, with that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.